What's good, Vikings fans? The 2025 preseason is in the books, and while we're all hyped for J.J. McCarthy to take the reins as QB1, the backup situation just got a whole lot spicier. ESPN dropped a bombshell. The Vikings are working out veteran quarterback Carson Wentz, a former number 2 overall pick and Midwest native who grew up cheering for the purple and gold. This isn't just a random tryout. This could signal that Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi Adofo-Mensah are rethinking their insurance policy behind McCarthy. Why now? Well, the backup battle has been anything but settled. Sam Howell, who we snagged in a draft day trade from Seattle, was supposed to lock down QB2 with his big arm and flashy moments in camp. But his preseason, let's just say it's been a roller coaster. Think 12 of 18 passes for 118 yards, 1 ugly interception, and a 61.8 passer rating that's got fans nervous. Meanwhile, undrafted rookie Max Brosmer has been stealing the show, outshining Howell and even Brett Rippon in preseason games. Could Wentz be the veteran answer we need? So what's the vibe? This move screams urgency from O'Connell, who's known for turning quarterbacks around. Remember Sam Darnold's MVP level 2024? Wentz, with 94 career starts and a 2017 near MVP season, brings a ton of experience and a familiarity with O'Connell's system from his time with the Rams. Skol Nation, are you feeling this potential signing? Or is it too risky? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hold up, let's talk about why Carson Wentz to the Vikings feels like destiny. This guy isn't just any quarterback. He's a North Dakota State legend, born and raised in Bismarck, just a few hours from US Bank Stadium. Growing up a Vikings fan, Wentz knows the passion of Skol Nation. Imagine the homecoming vibes if he steps onto the field in purple, ready to mentor McCarthy or step in if needed. Wentz's resume is no joke. He's got 94 starts, 22,410 passing yards, 153 touchdowns, and an 89.3 career passer rating. Sure, he's had ups and downs since his 2017 ACL tear derailed his MVP-caliber season with the Eagles, but he's shown flashes of brilliance, like in 2021 with the Colts, throwing 27 TDs to just 7 picks. At 32, he's still got the size, 6'5", 237 pounds, and arm talent to make NFL throws. Is this the kind of veteran presence we need behind our rookie star? Here's the kicker. Wentz has a direct tie to O'Connell's offense. In 2023, he backed up Matthew Stafford under Sean McVay, O'Connell's mentor, and even started in Week 18, tossing 3 total touchdowns. With Vikings QB coach Josh McCown also having been Wentz's backup in Philly in 2019, the connections are unreal. Could this familiarity make Wentz a seamless fit? Let me know what you think, Vikings fans. Skol Nation, let's get real about J.J. McCarthy for a second. Our 2024 first-round pick is the future, no question. Despite missing all of last season with a torn meniscus, he's shown enough promise this summer to lock in as QB1 for Week 1 against the Bears. But with 0 NFL snaps under his belt, the Vikings need a rock-solid plan B. Enter Carson Wentz, who's been through the ringer as a top draft pick himself and could relate to McCarthy's journey. McCarthy's summer wasn't perfect. Some inconsistency in camp raised eyebrows, but his potential is sky high. The Vikings let Sam Darnold walk in free agency to clear the path for JJ, and now they're doubling down on building a QB room that can support him. Wentz, with his experience and ability to handle the spotlight, could be the mentor McCarthy needs while also being ready to step in if things go south. How confident are you in McCarthy as QB1, and does Wentz as QB2 make you feel better? The big question is, what happens if Wentz signs? Does he push Howell out, or does he slot in as QB3 on the practice squad? Brosmer's preseason heroics, lighting up the Titans in the finale, might have already secured him a roster spot. This quarterback shakeup is heating up, and I'm dying to hear your predictions in the comments. Now, let's talk about Sam Howell because this Wentz workout is throwing shade on his QB2 status. Acquired from Seattle in a draft day deal, Howell was supposed to be the steady hand behind McCarthy. His arm talent popped in training camp, but his preseason was a mixed bag. Against the Texans, he went 11-4-13 for 105 yards. Solid. But against the Patriots, a brutal 1-for-5 with an interception that had fans groaning. Is Howell's spot in jeopardy? Howell's struggles aren't just about stats. His decision-making and field vision have been questioned, and O'Connell's system demands precision. Compare that to Wentz, who's been in high-pressure situations and has the experience to handle them. In 2019, Wentz threw for 4,039 yards and 27 TDs with the Eagles, even with a weak receiving core. Could he outshine Howell in O'Connell's QB-friendly offense? Vikings fans weigh in below. The Vikings are clearly looking for stability, and Wentz's workout suggests they're not sold on Howell as the primary backup. With roster cuts looming on August 26th, this could be a make-or-break moment for Howell. Should we stick with him or roll the dice on Wentz? Let's hear your take. Let's zoom out and look at Kevin O'Connell, the quarterback whisperer himself. This guy turned Sam Darnold into a fringe MVP candidate in 2024, throwing for 4,319 yards and 36 touchdowns. O'Connell's track record with QBs like Josh Dobbs and Nick Mullins proves he can squeeze every ounce of talent out of his signal callers. So why not take a swing on Wentz, a former top pick with untapped potential? Wentz's time with the Rams in 2023 showed he can still ball. Stepping in for Stafford, he threw for 163 yards and 2 TDs, while adding a rushing score in a Week 18 win. O'Connell's offense, rooted in McVay's system, is a perfect fit for Wentz's skill set. Quick reads, play action, and deep shots to guys like Justin Jefferson. Could KOC work his magic again? What's your confidence level in O'Connell's ability to revive Wentz? The Vikings aren't just throwing darts here. This move feels calculated, especially with McCown's history with Wentz. If anyone can get Wentz back to his 2017 form, when he was third in MVP voting, it's O'Connell. Skol Nation, are you buying the hype? Or is this too good to be true? Drop your thoughts. Alright, let's get to the juicy connections that make this Wentz workout so intriguing. First, there's the Sean McVay link. O'Connell was McVay's offensive coordinator in LA during their 2021 Super Bowl run, and Wentz spent 2023 soaking up that same system with the Rams. He's already got the playbook down, which could make his transition to Minnesota smoother than a Dalvin Cook juke move. Then there's Josh McCown, our QB coach, who was Wentz's backup in Philly in 2019. McCown called Wentz a high football character guy who can improvise and throw without his feet set. That kind of praise from a coach who's seen Wentz up close carries weight. Plus, McCown was also Darnold's backup, and we saw how that turned out. Is this a sign Wentz could thrive in Minnesota? What do you think, Skol Nation? These connections aren't just coincidence. They're a blueprint for success. Wentz knows the system, trusts the staff, and has the tools to execute. If he signs, could this be the start of a redemption arc in purple? Let's hear your predictions in the comments. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, Wentz's ups and downs. This guy was a superstar in 2017, throwing 33 TDs and just 7 picks before an ACL tear changed everything. Since then, he's bounced around Eagles, Colts, Commanders, Rams, Chiefs, never quite recapturing that magic. But at 32, he's at peace with a backup role, as he told CBS Sports before Super Bowl 59. Could Minnesota be his final shot at glory? The numbers don't lie. Wentz has 153 career passing TDs and a respectable 89.3 passer rating. His 2021 season with Indy, 3,563 yards, 27 TDs, 7 INTs, shows he's still got it when the situation's right. But turnovers have been his Achilles heel, something O'Connell mitigated with Darnold last year. Can KOC clean up Wentz's game? Vikings fans, are you worried about his past? Or is this a low-risk, high-reward move? Wentz isn't coming in to steal McCarthy's job. He's here to support and step up if needed. With his size, arm, and experience, he's a better plan B than Howell or Rippon. Skol Nation, would you sign Wentz today? Or is there another QB you'd rather see? Let's talk. Now, let's break down Max Brosmer, the undrafted rookie who's turning heads. This University of Minnesota alum has been the surprise of the preseason, outplaying Howell and Rippon with consistent, gutsy performances. Against the Titans in the finale, he lit it up, making a strong case for a roster spot. But is he ready to be QB2 behind McCarthy? That's the million-dollar question. Brosmer's got the heart and the hometown connection, but with 0 NFL starts, the Vikings might want a veteran like Wentz for insurance. Brosmer's likely headed for QB3 or the practice squad, but his preseason heroics, think pinpoint throws and poise under pressure, have fans buzzing. Skol Nation, do you think Brosmer's earned a spot? Or should we prioritize Wentz's experience? The quarterback room is getting crowded, and with roster cuts due by August 26th, decisions are coming fast. If Wentz signs, does Brosmer still make the 53-man roster? Or do we keep for QBs? Drop your ideal depth chart in the comments. Let's shift gears to the bigger picture. The Vikings' 2025 season. With McCarthy at the helm, Justin Jefferson back from his hamstring injury, and a defense led by Brian Flores, this team is built to compete in the NFC North. But a shaky backup QB could derail our playoff hopes. Wentz's workout shows the front office isn't taking any chances. Are we one step closer to a Super Bowl run? The NFC North is a gauntlet: Lions, Packers, Bears, but our offense, with Jordan Addison and TJ Hawkinson, can hang with anyone. Wentz as QB2 could give us the depth to survive a McCarthy injury or rookie struggles. His experience in big games, like starting 16 games for the Eagles in 2019, could be clutch. What's your biggest hope for the Vikings this season? Skol Nation. This Wentz move feels like a chess play by Adofo-Mensah and O'Connell. They're not just building for Week 1. They're planning for January. Do you trust this front office to make the right call at QB? Let's hear it in the comments. Okay, let's address the Sam Howell experiment. Trading for him was a bold move, but his preseason struggles, especially that 1-4-5 disaster against New England, have raised red flags. His arm is electric, but his decision-making, not so much. Wentz, with his 94 starts and familiarity with O'Connell's system, looks like a safer bet. Is Howell's time in Minnesota already running out? Howell's still young at 24, and O'Connell might see shades of Darnold in him, a high-upside project. But with McCarthy's inexperience and the season opener looming, the Vikings can't afford a shaky backup. Wentz's 2017 season, 3,296 yards, 33 TDs, and recent backup stints with elite coaches like Andy Reid and McVay make him a low-risk option. Skol Nation, would you cut Howell for Wentz, or give Sam another shot? The clock's ticking, and roster cuts are days away. This Wentz workout could force some tough choices. What's your gut telling you about Howell's future with the Vikings? Drop it below. Let's zoom in on the timing of this Wentz workout. It's no coincidence it's happening right after the preseason finale and just before the August 26th roster cut deadline. The Vikings are in crunch mode, evaluating every option to solidify the QB room before Week 1. This move screams, we're not sold on our current backups. Are you feeling the urgency, Skol Nation? Wentz didn't sign with the Rams until December 2023, and he waited until April 2024 to join the Chiefs, so he's picky about his spots. The fact that he's in Minnesota now suggests he sees a real opportunity with the Vikings, a contender with a QB-friendly coach and a stacked defense. Could this be a sign he's ready to embrace a backup role with a purpose? What's your read on Wentz's mindset? This late preseason workout could be a game-changer or just due diligence. Either way, it's got Skol Nation buzzing. Do you think Wentz signs before the season starts? Or are we looking at a post-cut edition? Let's hear your predictions. Let's talk about the fan angle, because Wentz as a Vikings fan growing up is straight-up poetic. Imagine him walking into US Bank Stadium, hearing the Giller horn, and knowing he's living his childhood dream. That's the kind of storyline that gets Skol Nation fired up. But does his fandom translate to on-field success? Wentz's Midwest roots and NDSU pedigree make him a natural fit for Minnesota. Fans at TCO Performance Center would lose it seeing him in purple. But beyond the feel-good vibes, his 6'5" frame and rocket arm could stretch defenses, especially with weapons like Jefferson and Addison. Skol Nation, would Wentz's hometown connection make you root for him harder? Drop your thoughts. This could be more than a signing. It's a narrative. A local kid coming home to back up a rookie star. Is this the kind of story that could rally the fan base? Let's get those comments rolling. Now, let's get strategic. The Vikings' cap space is tight, with a projected $50 million deficit in 2026. Signing Wentz to a cheap, one-year deal like his $3.33 million contract with the Chiefs, makes financial sense. It's low risk, high reward, especially if O'Connell can unlock his potential. Are we seeing a masterclass in roster management? Compare that to trading for someone like Kirk Cousins, which would cost draft picks and a chunk of his $27.5 million salary. Wentz is a free agent, so no picks are lost, and his deal won't break the bank. Plus, signing him after the draft avoids messing with our 2026 compensatory picks. Skol Nation, do you like this frugal approach? Or should we splurge for a bigger name? Adolfo Mensa is playing chess, not checkers. If Wentz pans out, it's a steal. If not, we move on without much damage. What's your take on this budget-friendly move? Let's talk in the comments. Let's wrap this up with the big picture. Why Wentz matters. The Vikings are all in on McCarthy, but with his injury history and lack of NFL experience, a veteran like Wentz could be the difference between a playoff push and a lost season. His 94 starts and ability to handle pressure make him a safety net we can't ignore. Are you ready for a Wentz redemption arc in purple? O'Connell's reputation as a QB guru gives this move serious potential. Wentz isn't here to start, but if called upon, he could keep us in games with his arm and experience. Plus, his mentorship could help McCarthy grow into the franchise QB we all believe he can be. Skol Nation, how much does a strong QB2 matter to you this season? This is why we love Vikings football. Every move keeps us on the edge of our seats. Do you think Wentz is the missing piece? Or are we good with Howell and Brosmer? Drop your hot takes below. Alright, Skol Nation, that's the scoop on Carson Wentz and the Vikings QB shakeup. This is huge for our 2025 season, and I'm pumped to see how it plays out. Are you all in on Wentz? Or do you want to stick with Howell or Brosmer? Smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel for more Vikings news. Share this with your fellow fans, and let's keep the Skol chant loud and proud. See you in the next one.